Hello and welcome to what's going to be a video review of Free's home broadband service, in particular the 4G home broadband service, which is something that's delivered the next day or next working day, and there is no landline, there's no engineer, no rating. So let's see if it is any good. Okay, so what is this free home broadband? Well, Free in the UK is a mobile phone operator company, and they do a couple of home broadband products now that operate over their mobile broadband technology. One is a 4G one, which is the one I'm reviewing and testing out today, and the other is, if you're lucky enough to live in an area, a 5G home broadband network. Now, these home broadband services are available. You can go on the Free website, and what you do is you put your postcode in and your address, and it will tell you if you can get the service or not. Even if you've got some sort of 4G signal in your area, you won't necessarily be able to buy it today. When I checked it for my postcode, it worked. It said, yes, you're in an area that supports the service. But for example, I put my parents' postcode in, which they live on the other side of town, and it wasn't available for them yet. And it's literally a case of you order the contract you want, and the next working day you get this box delivered with everything you need to get going. There is, like it says on the box, there is no landline, there is no engineer, and there is no rating. Now, I was quite impressed with the speed. I ordered this last Friday, and I wasn't expecting it until Monday. And in fact, it came the next day, it came on Saturday, so I was impressed that it was literally the next day. So what do you actually get as a box you get? So you get the usual network cable, you get a power adapter as well, and you get a few booklets. So there's a nice little booklet there that explains how to set up your 4G hub, and there's some more little instruction booklets in here as well for the actual router itself. So there we go. The router you get is this one here. It's a Free branded ZTE MF286d. The router itself, it's okay for what it is. It is obviously the more basic router that they offer for the 4G service. It's actually replacing the Huawei ones that they used to offer with the service. So this is one of the latest ones that they do offer. On the back, you got 4 gigabit network ports there. One of which you can technically use as a RAN port, so you could use, it's got different modes in it, so you could connect a landline based product to it and use it as a landline based router. Not like you really, well, it's an option. But yeah, you got your 4 LAN ports there, and you got a couple of telephone ports. I've not actually tested this. I don't know if it's something that it's supported with Free, but according to the instruction booklet, you can plug a normal telephone in and use it over the SIM card, I think, to receive phone calls. I'm not sure if it's out with a VoIP phone, but yeah, you got a couple of phone ports on it as well. And obviously your power port, and it's got a little flick to switch it on and off, and a USB port for sharing, like USB drives or printers and so forth. As well as this, in the same box, you do get your SIM card. It's just a standard SIM card, and it accepts a standard size SIM card slot, so you don't have to pop anything out. It's just the one that comes with it, and that just pops into the side there as well. And literally setting that up is just as simple as you plug it all in, you pop the SIM card in, turn it on, wait a few minutes, some lights will blink on it, and then you'll be connected. On the underside of the thing, you got your passwords, the default passwords. Of course, recommend to change them if you can, for the Wi-Fi and the admin password to get into the router itself. So that's quite handy. It's on the bottom there. So yeah, the router itself, I should say, it's got Wi-Fi 5 support in it. It says it can support up to 64 devices. It's LTE. So it's all the LTE bands that you need for the free service, as you'd expect, including the latest. Is it band 30 and 32? It supports that as well if your local mast supports that. It's got 4x4 MIMO support for the LTE antenna. So they recommend that you place this in your windowsill. So if you think about, oh, I can just put this where my existing router is on the sideboard, no, it's no good. You won't, unless you're in a really strong signal area, you're not going to get a decent speed. And even if you are, you're going to get less speed if you just plonk it down on the table in the living room. You will need to put this in, ideally, if you in a multi-story house, in the upstairs window, an upstairs bedroom, on the windowsill, pointing towards your nearest mast. And during testing, I found that even the little bit of movement like that can affect the signal quality and how much speed you get and latency. So every little inch does count when you're setting it up. So that's the thing I found. When I got it here, I sold it. It was a very good signal area here for 4G, apparently, according to Free's coverage checker. In reality, I wouldn't say it's very good, especially not indoors. I tested it at various locations around the house, and the best signal I could get was actually in the conservatory, stacked on top of a table, and then another table stacked on top of that, and some more boxes stacked on top of that, and tweaking it, pointing towards the nearest mast, which for me is out that way, on top of a water tower. So yeah, it was very much trial and error. I wouldn't say it's easy to set up. Again, if you're in a stronger signal area, it might be easier for you to pick up a decent signal. When I signed up to service, before I signed up to service, one of the big things for me that I needed a static IP address. I run a few personal websites at home, like going to Cloudflare. I run, I've got a VPN, so I could dial back into my home connection as well. If I'm out and about, all the sort of things that you need a static IP address for on the connection. Now, I know mobile services aren't famed for static IPs. You normally are behind what's called a carrier grade NAT, so you're sharing a connection, sharing an IP address effectively to the World Wide Web. But when I was looking for this service for free, it said that you could, on the website, it claimed that you could get a static IP, which I was quite shocked about. I thought, oh, okay. So I thought I'd just double check about that. And yes, I found that I checked with two sales representatives, reps, before I signed up to service, and they both said, yes, that's fine. You just need to phone up when it's activated. You phone up the support and they can put it on free of charge, no problems. Okay, great. I thought, £14 a month, static IP. I thought, great, I thought it'd be good as a maybe a main connection before my fibre to the premises comes in, because I'm waiting for that at the moment. Because if it gets faster speeds than my normal connection for the fibre to the cabinet connection, and then after that, it's a backup connection. So if my fixed line connection went down, I could use this as a straight backup. In reality, when obviously we got the service, I phoned up the support as soon as it was activated, and I phoned up the support, and I was told, no, we don't do static IPs anymore. I was told he did, but no, they were adamant they didn't anymore, and reached out to the free Twitter support as well, and they confirmed that no, they do not offer that anymore. I think it's something they used to do, but they don't do it anymore. And of course, that's a real shame for me, because it's that was a big requirement for me. So let's have a look at the speeds. speed test we did. So here we are on the on my virtual machine that's running through the mobile broadband service. And before we go ahead and do the speed test, let's have a look around the dashboard. So when you log into the router, you get presented with this dashboard. You can see we've got some settings we can change on here. So where it says LTE plus at the top and in the center, that's the connection type, the mobile broadband mode we're on. So LTE plus is actually 4G band aggregated, so it's where it uses multiple bands to produce a stronger signal. And have a look. We can have a look at the detailed information here. So we've got the signal strength and everything like that. So now signal strength is not necessarily the quality here. So let's have a look at let's do a speed test. So here's one I did. That's the last one I did. Now I'm running a ping here to Google's DNS server just to show you the latency. So latency, basically, the higher the number, the worse it is. So we're just doing a speed test on fast.com, which is powered by Netflix. So you can see here we're getting around 53. But look at those. Look at that latency, how it's gone into the thousands when we're maxing out connections. At the moment, we've got it set to what's called automatic mode. So it could drop down to 3G or 4G or 4G plus, depending on how good the signal is. So it's an automatic at the moment. So you can see there the latency got absolutely hammered there. And just doing the upload speed test, you can see actually we're pulling through quite a decent upload speed at the moment through here. Well, I say decent, I say decent compared to what I've observed most of the time. So we're getting about 6 megabits a second upload speed. And actually I was promised around 50 megabits a second upload speed, but you know, you see there the actual unloaded latency and loaded is not showing too bad there at the moment. Let's head over to speedtest.net now and just see how we got on here. That's another popular speed test website. So yeah, we're getting a ping there of 52, it's recorded there, but just look at it now on the actual live stats going for. We've got going into the thousands again, and actually we're getting timeouts now. So as it's peaking, yeah, we're getting probably a decent, the fastest speed I've seen here so far. It went over 60 per second, and then yeah, and then look how it's killed. The upload speed is that's just horrendous, but again, it's probably because it's killed the connection doing the download speed test as well. You can see we're getting dropouts left, right, and centre there. Obviously, one of the things that can affect your service as well, the point I discussed earlier, is obviously congestion on the mobile phone network. So there's a lot of people using a mast. If your mast is popular, then you're going to get a poor experience. And again, it's goes back to consistency. You see, I'm trying to load web pages here, and it's can't even load a basic web page. This was my website right here. So you can see that it's horrendous latency there into the thousands again. It will start to come down. You see, yeah, it's coming back down now to normal levels there. So you can see, yeah, we're getting minus 103 signal strength, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're getting a decent quality signal. That's a key difference. So let's set now into 4G only mode. See if that's any better to force it to use 4G mode rather than you know, falling back to 3G if it can't cope with 4G. Let's see if we get a better test with that. Let's head back over to speedtest.net and we'll run another test now to see what it's like. Again, using the same server as before, so it's even already it's even struggling to load that web page. Okay, so speeds are almost, yeah, sort of half what we're getting before on the download, just about getting to 40. Again, you can see why it varies. It's not consistent, whereas on another type of broadband service, you probably get a pretty consistent speed near the top of the range you'll get. And again, look how we're getting dropouts as well. And again, the upload speed is yeah, not great. Yeah, so we really struggle to do that. I mean, some of the tests I've done, the upload speed test has failed completely, just times out. So yeah, so that's just yeah, that's quite poor, really. And just try loading web pages again. You see, it's latency is coming back down slowly now as well. So let's try setting it into 3G only mode. So we're now forcing it to be in 3G. So this is obviously the slowest type of connection. So you can see we're getting a better signal strength on 3G, minus 92 decibels. So pings are, a lot of latency is, yeah, again, a little bit higher than actually it was on 4G. So we're getting the DC HSPA plus, so that's the best you can get for 3G. It's again, it's using band aggregation and to try to improve the service. So let's try to load a website here. You can see it's not the fastest. It might just be catching up. There we go. It does load it eventually. But it's, yeah, you can tell straight away it's not the fastest experience. I mean, technically 3G you can push it to about 24 megabits a second on that plus mode. Straight away there, ping's 79, but yeah, we're pulling through, yeah, about 9 meg. Again, the latency is shooting up again, yeah, into the thousands. So that's the consistent thing, is when you're pushing the connection to its limits, it kills latency there. It's not as bad as the 4G in terms of we're not getting any dropouts yet. You see the download speed there is about 8 meg, and the upload speed is actually better than it was on 4G for this particular speed test. We're getting about 2. So that's actually equivalent to your standard ADSL sort of speeds, 8 in the suburbs here. So, I mean, it might provide a bit more of a stable connection, maybe, I don't know. So let's head back over to the router now, and I'll just take you through some of the things you can change on there. So we obviously got the parental controls, but we'll go to the advanced settings. So you can set your Wi-Fi coverage to long, medium, and short Wi-Fi, but apparently people said it doesn't make much difference. So the Wi-Fi is pretty weak by all accounts on this unit, so you're probably better off getting a mesh system if you've got a big house. So the router there, you can change, as you see, I changed this from the default, the IP address of the router, the DHCP pool, IPs and everything like that. The MTU and MSS people want to leave as it is. Yeah, it's got some MAC IP binding there for static IP addresses. You've got a pretty basic firewall built in, so you can do port forwarding, but I don't know why you can't really, because you can't get a static IP on this, so you really wouldn't want to do that either. Yeah, so you got firmware update and some pin management, S&M tune, yeah, some diagnostics. So you can run a diagnostic test to see if we've got any problems with the network. So it'll check and see here. It's so the only problem is the Wi-Fi switch isn't open because I've purposely turned it off, so that's fine. You can see how much data you've used, although it's usually, obviously this service is unlimited data, so that's not really so much a problem. And you'll find that you'll need to disconnect the connection to change a lot of the settings. So this router can support different modes. So you can actually put it into LTE bridge mode, where this acts as like a modem mode, and you can pass through the connection straight to another router. So that can be handy if you need that application. Cable broadband mode, that's if you want to connect to like a DSL type service rather than the LTE, and wireless broadband, obviously the one we're using, and automatic. So yeah, in conclusion then, I'd say, is this a product for you? Is it any good? Well, it depends on what you use your internet for, what you can get at the moment, and what signal you can get with free, for this particular example with the free network. If you can get fibre to the premises in your area or anything like that, just go for that, because that's going to provide you the best experience hands down. You know, it's fibre optic is the future. It fires much faster. Throughput speeds, the latency is like 1 to 2 milliseconds on a fibre to the premises connection. So obviously this is when the fibre optic comes straight into your home. Obviously you can find out a lot more about this on my website. I'll link that to below as well. The other use case as well, which is quite handy for this, is if you, as a sort of a stopgap scenario. So say if you just moved, say if you're moving home, and you know, if you're getting a fixed landline service, it can take at least a couple of weeks to get installed. So you could get this even just on a rolling monthly contract for a few months, and at least you're going to get some internet with this as well. That'll be another use case. Or say like in our case at the moment, where we're sort of in between waiting for the full fibre to premises connection to come in to be installed in the area. That's not going to happen until June now. So you know, and our fibre to the cabinet connection with a system provider contract's ending, we don't want to be paying 42 quid a month for that. You know, so this is 14, you know, you can get this for 14 quid or even 30 quid on the rolling month contract. You know, that scenario, it's going to be a decent stopgap. Yeah, so overall, yeah, it's one thing's for sure, it's definitely they're definitely fast at delivering it. It did come the next day, so if you want a broadband in a hurry, then yeah, yeah, they do live up to that claim. But yeah, overall, like I said, I'd only recommend it in sort of certain use cases, and obviously I'll link more to that on the website as well. So there we go. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments what you think. And like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. And like I say, check out my websites as well for more on broadband technology, especially full fibre, which is an up and coming thing in the UK in particular. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.